What's up? Don't mind that. I thought I'd do a goofy intro this week. Anyways, y'all, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be breaking down the five either players or like five groups of players, duos of players. Like you'll see as I go along, like how I've grouped these guys, like five possible retiring candidates after this 2025 MLW season. We've seen a lot of new players come in through the drafts. And after all this time, you know, there are some veterans that got less playing time and maybe have more commitments in their personal life regarding occupations, family life, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be going over that today and basically the five candidates that I see retiring at the end of this MLW season. Let's get right into it. All right, so to go ahead and kick things off, I got Stephen McGlade of formerly the Pacific Predators. He's now on the Coastal Cobras following the Drew Davis, Justin S trade that kind of blew everybody away when it actually went down because nobody really expected Drew Davis to go ahead and step down from captaincy. However, in this case, McGlade really got like no playing time with the Preds last year. And on top of that, in the one series that he was a Coastal Cobra for, he was unable to make it due to work commitments. Now, totally understand that. Totally makes a lot of sense. But now with two upcoming picks in next year's draft, that being the first overall and I believe fifth overall picks, do you really see the chance that Caden Irwin's going to bring back Stephen McGlade? Even, like, not even that. Even if he does Stephen McGlade stick around? Because he's no longer with, you know, his alma college, one of his best friends there, Ryan Crash. He's no longer with the Preds. Is there a chance that he sticks around in MLW? We really don't know that. So I think there's a good chance that, you know what, maybe this is the year he steps away. He hasn't really had a prominent role on the Preds since maybe 2022 as their secondary arm because of how lackluster he's been in his limited appearances in recent years. Is there anything left there? I don't think so. I think he's going to pretty much be hanging it up and be done with MLW in 2026. All right, next up, we have a fellow 2021 rookie who has now played about 5 seasons in the league. And after last season, I don't know if he's sticking around either. He only appeared in one series for the Metro Magic, and that is the fan favorite, Jordan Curdy. Now, unfortunately, same thing goes for Trevor Bonham. Both Curdy and Bonham were kind of pushed to the side last year, especially because the drafting of John Paul Gunn, Brady Pearson, all along with RJ Walgate, Grant Miller, who has taken a step back. And I wouldn't count him out as retiring fully. I think he would still be part of that, but we're not going to get into Grant Miller today because I don't think he's going to be retiring. However, as for Jordan Curdy, I do think because of his limited action last year, and you barely really saw him at the Meadows. The only time we did see him, he wasn't even at the Meadows. He was in the out-of-state series against the Cobras in Slate 4. So because of that, I do really think, again, same thing, he's going to be taking, you know, a step back, focus on more of his personal life and stuff like that, focus on his career, his family life, all of that. I don't think there's really a role for him on the Metro Magic at the moment. And as much as that kind of pains me as a Jordan Curdy fan, after all this time, the Curdy Club, you know what? It would stink to see our guy go, but I wouldn't be surprised if after 5 years, he also decides to hang it up in MLW. All right, next up for this one, I think there's a legitimately good chance this does actually end up happening because of the limited role he ended up taking with the Pacific Predators later on in the season after they had acquired both Drew Davis and Justin Esch. And in this case, I'm talking about Brennan Russell. So Russell, as far as I know in his personal life, like this is stuff, anything I say about these players has been posted on their Instagram stories that a lot of MLW fans might go ahead and follow. So I'm hoping, like, I'm not disclosing any further information. What I do know for sure is that we saw that Brennan Russell posted his engagement. So congratulations to Brennan Russell. On that note, we know that there are a few married players in the league at this point. We have Grant Miller, Jack Agner, Caden Irwin, like those are 3 off the top of my head right there. And I do think there's a chance that after, again, not the best performance of a season, who knows if he's going to be back. I do think like Alec Ward is going to stick around. That's his team. That's the Pacific Predators team. He's been a manager of for now 13 seasons. Next year's season 14 for the Preds. That's crazy. And this year was year 11 for Brennan Russell. So I think after a long career, he's gone ahead and he's won World Series. He's a champion in MLW. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides now is the time to take some time away and really just start focusing on the next chapter of his life rather than wiffle ball. This next one is, I think, one that MLW fans have now seen coming for months, especially considering what has happened on the Pipe It Up podcast. We have seen Ty Fresnick and Levi Fleer kind of take over as the co-host for the podcast, and it's almost like Tommy Coughlin and Jack Agner are letting this new wave of youth kind of take over MLW in a sense. And in that case, I'm going to go ahead and say that both Tommy Coughlin and Jack Agner are potential retiring candidates for this upcoming MLW season. Now, I know that both of them are the captains on their respective teams, Midwest Mallers and Metro Magic. However, Jack Agner, as I've mentioned with other players already, he's married, he's got a child. He's disclosed this on the Humble Homeowners segment on the Pipe It Up podcast. He's disclosed this multiple times. I wouldn't be surprised if after, again, another kind of lackluster season, he might take a step away from the league. On the other hand, Tommy Coughlin was only present at 6 games this year, 2 series out of 5 in the regular season. He was there for, the semifinals as well as the World Series. Like that we've seen, we know he's been there. And on that note, I'm going to just go ahead and throw out there that maybe he's sticking around just because of his commitment to the playoffs. I'm not even too sure about that though, because he's been traveling, he's been going on, these trips, he's been living life. Good for Tommy if he's doing it for work, if he's doing it for pleasure. Like, good for him. He's also been in a relationship. He's posted that as well. So, you know what? He's, again, focusing on more of his personal life. Now, I wouldn't be fully surprised if these guys are just taking steps back from Pipe It Up to hand it on to the new wave of MLW creators and the group of new MLW, like the new influx of MLW coming in. However, I would also not be surprised if they decide to, focus on other things. And in this case, who would I hand captaincy to? If I was Tommy, I think Robles is committed to MLW for a while. So I think, the next Midwest Mallers captain is going to be either Jordan Robles or even Brendan Jorgensen. He's been in the league now this is year 6 for Brendan Jorgensen. And then as for the Metro Magic, if we're on this topic of who's going to be the next captain, I can go ahead and think that possibly the most committed Metro Magic player by far last year was RJ Walgate. He was there at every single series, playing every single series, had one of the best pitching seasons of 2025. There's a chance the captaincy could go to him. I'm not too sure. Guys, leave your ideas down below for who should be the next captain of the Metro Magic if Jack Agner were to go ahead and retire. Now, finally, this one is going to pain me because I'm a big Jimmy Norp fan, but I want to go ahead and say that after Jimmy Norp got hired by John Boy Media and he's now been there full time, I think there's a legitimate chance that not only Jimmy Norp, but the entire Livonia cast and crew of the Downtown Diamondbacks are going to hang it up after this season. Jimmy Norp, if he's fully committed to John Boy, I don't know if he's going to be flying back for MLW. I can see it. I don't know what he's going to do. Again, nothing's been decided yet. However, as far as he's told me personally, he's hinted at multiple times with other fans. He has said this might be the one last ride. So we want to get all the Livonia boys back together on one team. And we look at that. And again, he's picked up Matt Carlington. Michael Shima's come out of retirement. Traded for Nick Saylor. He's brought in all his boys back one by one to just ride it out in MLW one last time. And unfortunately, as much as they didn't go the distance, it was a damn good season. Nick Saylor had a phenomenal season. In the 9 games he ended up playing, he only missed the first 2 slates. He had a great season. Jonah Heath, a little bit less. Michael Shima, Matt Carlington, not so much. Left over, after that, you got Jake Sullivan and Jacob Pishka. Those would be the 2 building blocks from there if the D-backs were to, retool and the main Livonia guys were to step back out of the league. That would cause a legitimate shakeup, which would mean the D-backs would have an entire, a fairly new cast next year, would be flipping some assets, trading some pieces around, drafting new players. They'd go ahead and have a pretty new cast of characters. But I also just can't really imagine MLW without Jimmy Norp at this point. I hope he were to not retire, but I feel like if Jimmy Norp were to leave, a lot of his Livonia teammates or Livonia-based friends would be following him out of MLW and moving on to greater things. Once again, I want to give my biggest congratulations to Jimmy Norp for being hired by John Boy. He's been fantastic. I've seen the content he's posted with John Boy Media. He's been killing it. He's been doing great. Matt Carlington, I met Saylor. These guys they're all legitimately great dudes. All these players are great guys. So if they are retiring and this is their last ride in MLW, and it has been, you know what? Congratulations, guys. You've had a great career. On to the next. On to bigger, better things, bigger personal things for you guys. To round out the D-backs discussion, your next captain, I think after that rookie season, and when it comes to the next captain of the Downtown Diamondbacks, if I were to really pick between Sully and Pishka, I'd be absolutely going with Sully here. He has shown in year 1. He's an absolute dog. He's fantastic both pitching and hitting wise. This guy has legitimately serious potential to go ahead and be a star in this league. And I think, you know what, him as a captain, I can totally see it. Maybe it's only in year 2 of the league, but hey, Jimmy Norp was captain by year 2 when he got in the league. So I don't think it's out of the possibility if Norp and the Livonia guys were to step back, it's Sully's team. I think the D-backs would be Sully's team next up. All right, guys, so to wrap up this video and quickly recap the retirees that I can project for the MLW 2026 season, this offseason, again, I can fully see Stephen McGlade, Jordan Curdy, Brendan Russell, Tommy Coughlin, and Jack Agner, so your Pipe It Up co-host, and then all of the D-backs pretty much. Norb and a lot of the Livonia guys, again, who knows? Like, even Norb has really said, who knows? A lot of these guys are still going to make the effort. If they're in the league this long, there's no reason as to why you're going to want to leave it. I'm really not too sure what they're going to do, but we will go ahead and see based on what happens in the coming months of the offseason. So on that note, guys, I want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. Click like if you like the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if y'all haven't yet. A lot more content is coming out. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. we are posting content. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.